Well, that's it, the end of our mission. All I've got to do now is take it back. But I'll tell you what, it's been one hell of a trip. This is the Ferrari 575 Handling GTC, and we're taking it to the Nurburgring, a blast across 5 European countries in just 24 hours to confirm its GT credentials, followed by hot laps of the Grand Prix circuit to test the new handling upgrades. Come and have a look. Right, the differences. First thing you'll notice is the wheels have gone up in size to 19-inch. What that basically means is there's a certain size, there's a maximum size you can get in the wheel arch. So if the wheel rim diameter goes up, therefore the tyre sidewall must come down. Smaller aspect ratio, smaller tyre wall means less deflection when you turn the wheel, sharper steering response. Another big change, which you can't see from the outside, is the springs have gone up 35% on the front axle. Now that's a massive change. If I was to ask my engineer in my race car to go up 10%, he'd question that. So to go up 35 is a big change. The other major change is the rear roll bar, which controls the roll of the car at the rear, has gone up a massive 75%. That's going to make the car much sportier to drive, a very aggressive racing feel to it. Now, the exhausts, they're half as light, but more importantly, they make more noise. Better appreciation down the boozer, girls will like it more. But the big thing for me is the brakes. If you come in here and have a look, these are carbon ceramic brake discs and pads. Very similar technology that is in Formula 1. Which is a good job considering it does 202 miles an hour. And the only car that would let crew and luggage keep up was a 199 mile an hour Scaglietti. So, 2 motors worth 180 grand each, and they're all ours. God bless the insurers. Here we go. In Maranello, Ferrari fans literally line the streets hoping for a glimpse of secret testing. But with 1,000 clicks to cover, we had to head straight for Autostrada 1. We've got to get through northern Italy, the length of Switzerland, skip through France and Luxembourg before hitting Germany. We've been in the car now for an hour, a good hour, and I feel fine. It's very relaxing, it's very quiet inside, it's quite noisy outside, which is quite cool really. You know, you can waft along serenely along your way whilst showing off to the rest of the world. I quite like that. But do yourself a favour, don't order these, they're absolute garbage. You can't move. Give me a 3-point belt any day. At the first pit stop, the difference between our 2 Ferraris was writ large. A 575 in red attracts an audience within seconds. The subtly coloured 612 is a supercar for the shy, but keeping a low profile has never been my thing, especially when I get to play God with a V12 as great as this one. So, to give you an example of how torquey and powerful this car is, we're 70 mile an hour, 3rd gear. Actually, let's try 4th gear, let's give it a little boot. There's 100 already. Oh, hello. Right, now we're going to test the carbon brakes. They're excellent. After about 3 hours and 150 miles, we could see the Alps. We'd left Italy behind and had arrived in country number 2. Right, so here we are, 10 o'clock, we're in the middle of Switzerland. I'd like to say we're bombing through, but we're not. We're having a cruise. The police are fairly stiff and strict around here, so we're taking it easy. We've had a couple of near misses with the Rosas, and I don't want to lose my licence. So, it's a good test because we're using this car as we would an everyday car, and it's given us a good opportunity to see what it's like. It's quite warm in here. You've got to have the aircon on all the time. There's a lot of heat coming from the engine. I mean, automatic mode at the moment, and even though I'm not a fan of the semi-automatic gearbox in manual mode, I'd rather have a manual gear stick. It is quite handy to just push the auto button and then just chill and relax. I don't like the seats. These are the small seats. They're not very comfortable. They're just a bit hard and there's not enough adjustment. There's no lumbar support really. Anyway, enough whinging. It's a great car. I'm a lucky guy. Shift down a couple of pegs. Give it some squirting. See you later.
Refuelling was no drama at 70 pence a litre and a surprisingly good 20 to the gallon. We pitched camp across the border in France before getting up with a baguette buys and invading Luxembourg. Then it was into our fifth and final country, Germany, which means autobahns.
Time to get our foot down. We're doing what? HMR now. It's not going down the falls, we'll give it some stick. It's 110 already. 130. Glass has got to go on, need to concentrate. That's 150 miles an hour. It's not easy being me.
Now, you know what it's like. You pull off the motorway and get a bit confused about which direction to head in. But I got my bearings eventually, and we soon found our way to the Nurburgring. There was a Ferrari owners roadshow in town, so it didn't take too much buttering up to secure some precious track time. The 575's handling upgrade is a 16 grand option, the most expensive option in Britain, I reckon, and a third of the customers are specifying it. But is it any good?
150 on the brakes and slow it down. Oh yeah, tiger. The steering's one of the nicest parts of this car. It's very precise, very accurate, and you can really feel the difference these special Pirelli P0 tyres have made. Bit of understeer in the car, a bit of mid-corner understeer. This is a bugger of a corner. Now the good thing with this car, once you get on the accelerator pedal mid-corner, providing you're committed, you can put the car from an understeer balance to a slight oversteer balance, which is great, exactly what you want. There we go. Now we like that. One of the things I discovered when I first got in the car, and it's happened every time I drive a Ferrari with an F1 style gearbox. I don't like them. This is quite an improvement on previous models I've driven, but you still have to learn to use the gearbox, particularly on the down change. It's good on an upshift, but the down change, you've still got to manually rev the throttle a little bit just to help it along. That's one of the other benefits of this car, because it's got such a lot of torque, big engine, big horses, you can afford to gear up. So instead of using second and running out of revs halfway through the corner, stick the thing in third and get on the loud pedal, and the torque of the engine just pulls you through. It's great fun. I'm starting to smell the brakes a bit now, though.
Which is probably a good time to stop. There aren't many cars that fit the bill as a Grand Tourer you can drive to a track day 5 countries away. Adventures like that are something to tell the kids about.
Well, that's it, the end of our mission. All I've got to do now is take it back. But I'll tell you what, it's been one hell of a trip.
See? I told you.